Hey guys, welcome back. This is Mr. Hardcore Mode when nothing's easy. Welcome back to another Final Fantasy video. This one in regards to the 6.1 Crystaline conflict update that just came up for PvP, and this is just going to focus on pretty much you solo tanks out there, Gunbreakers, Dark Knight, paladins and warriors out there who are trying to get up there to crystal or just get straight out of bronze. These things will help you out if you're just solo queuing back to back to back to back. It's not particularly for people that are doing 5 stacks, because you guys are probably crushing it out there. You know, communication is key. I know all about it, but me, I don't have that many friends. Well, let's start off. It's 5+ tips for those solo queuers out there that are tanks. Let's start off with the first one. Pretty much just the first one is just saying we're pretty much, number one, we're just not the same tank as what you see in PvE. Obviously, you probably already know this, but it's even more than that. With PvE, you obviously have more health, you also have more abilities, and just overall a different set view on how your character pretty much dominates their enemy. It's really cool that the limit breaks and stuff are all changed and having primal scream or just a different type of living dead. These sort of abilities are really cool, and I wish they carried over to PvE, but they don't, because they're pretty much strictly PvP and they're kind of OP. Talking about you, White Mage. But anyway, pretty much you need to know this mindset that your health is pretty much the same when it comes to other people. It's about a few thousand apart from the others, but there's literally DPS out there that have a simple move that just hits for 8,000, and then boom, you're literally either have health just like a healer's health or just like a DPS health. That's literally the only difference there. It's cool being a tank and all, and helping out your team, but pretty much your only focus is to make sure that your team is okay. Sustainability is your key, stunning, and making sure that your team survives. You're pretty much the babysitter of your whole team, all the DPS and the healers, and yeah, it's pretty much that. As much as you want to take care of the payload, don't concentrate too much on a payload. Concentrate on teamwork and making sure that your friends are not getting flanked. That is your biggest concern right now. Don't focus too much on the fact that you're a tank and saying, oh man, I'm a big burly tank. No, you're not this time. Not too much into PvP. Number 2, no rushing in. Focus on either grabbing or stunning or waiting until the enemy's bloodlust just kicks in, which they always do. They try to flank, or they try to, they just can't wait. There's 25 seconds that is pretty much for the weight of the crystal, so you dying before the crystal even it breaks out in the beginning of a match is pretty bad, and that kind of gives your enemies kind of a what's the word I'm looking for, a feed, pretty much, kind of like from MOBAs. You don't want to feed your enemies, because obviously they're going to get their limit break, and that's just going to be devastating for everybody else. Trust me, 4v5, the person with 5 is going to win, most likely with this PvP. When it comes to a clash, the 4 are most likely going to win, or going to lose against a 5 stack, and that's pretty much if they're like coordinated and that sort of thing. Let's go with but yes, pretty much just focus on just waiting until one of them jumps in, either a ninja, dragoon. It's always a dragoon, mostly a reaper, and they jump in, concentrate on that one, and yeah, bring them down, stun them. Your teammates will follow and do suit. Number 3, let's go ahead with randoms will leave you alone. As much as they like to, they want to win this match, for some odd reason, their livelihood is more important than actually moving the payload or helping out their teammates. It's just, I don't know how to say this, but I don't want to say that it's kind of fucked up. I want to say more of like, it's just a habit. Nobody wants to just get killed straight off the bat by a Reaper that came up from behind, you know, and just when it comes to DPS, I hope that they just come to the tank, because pretty much if they come to the tank or to the healer, the DPS most likely, the enemy DPS will most likely probably struggle, because 2v1, 2 is always going to win. 2 is always going to win, unless somebody has an ultimate that has way too much power. But that's, you know, off and on of that. But pretty much, what I mean is, when it comes to tanking, when you're solo queuing, they don't know you, they will leave you alone, and pretty much concentrate on just your allies. Stay with them. Don't stay with the crystal, stay with them. Because you want to make sure that you have your eyes on them. If you do not have your eyes on them, they will scatter. And if that's the last thing you do. The people that really scatter are pretty much the DPS. The healers, pretty much, they want to support. They obviously do want to support. They do have some healing abilities. It's like cure and all that, and physic, and they do want to help out. Stick with what I do like to do is do a focus. What's the word I'm looking for? A focus target. Pretty much I focus target either a white mage or a monk or a samurai, maybe a dragoon. People that I guarantee will probably not flank. I'm looking for that person that's not going to flank. That's what I'm looking for. Because as a tank, I don't flank too much unless it's in dire need later on into the match, but I want to stay with the team. I don't want to be off alone doing like secretive stuff, like me trying to be a ninja warrior or something like that. It's not gonna cut it. You know, it only applies to when your enemy is busy with your allies and you jump in, bring a stun, you know, use your limit break, that sort of thing really does help out. That's when it like really you can probably be a ninja at that moment, but pretty much you want to focus on remaining with your team when nothing is mostly going on, or pushing the payload, that sort of thing. Stay with them. Number 4, immobilizing enemies. It's pretty much allies. Pretty much. Allies will love this. The reason why I bring up immobilization again when it comes to stuns and this sort of thing, your stun is your prized joy. Your stun is like DPS. I've heard DPS and some healers, but mostly DPS, especially on Twitch or on YouTube, they literally say when they have a warrior on their team, they literally say like, oh, stun, oh, please bring in the stun so I can get in there. They actually say these things, guys. Trust me. Your stun or your gap closer pretty much is pretty much the bread and butter of everything. Allies will love you for that. You want to make sure that your allies are there and they're waiting for that moment, because you're there for, you know, to kickstart everything and then bring things in motion. Pretty much just go in there, you know, go in with the stun, and then start off with the guard, because they will focus on whatever's the closest. I've seen a lot of enemies with really quick, like, the word I'm looking for is can't find it. They just have quick trigger fingers. When they see somebody that's right in front of them, just big burly, like axe wielding badass Rogadin lady, they'll most likely target the big ass Rogadin like axe lady. But make sure you know, cover yourself right there. You know, your allies are pretty much focused there, and actually there's a bonus to what you just did right there when you did the gap closer and your DPS are there and you're focusing on pretty much stunning most people. Try to stun many people if you have an AoE stun like Warrior does, and if you don't, just focus on one, because you want to really focus down like just an overall a party of enemies. You don't want to focus too much on one enemy at a time. You really want to get in there and get all the enemy flustered, because that'll make them sporadic. That'll make them go off and heal or something. But you can always focus on one enemy that you actually got into the stun, and there's a bonus to what you should do later down the road. I'll tell you about that in just a second. Number 5, keybinds. There is a keybind for target nearest enemy. please put something for target nearest enemy. That'll help. You already have a toggle for like switching between enemies that are on your screen. Pick a toggle for targeting the closest enemy to you. There are a lot of chances where you're toggling some healer and they're going off and running down the hall and you are chasing them, which you shouldn't be. Do not chase. Focus on your allies because they might not be chasing as well. There will be a ninja right behind you or a samurai right behind you, and they're actually focused on actually hitting you. They got a full bar of health while the healer is running off with probably 25% of their health. Which will you focus on? The healer that's running off with a full guard shield, or are you going to take care of the ninja that's stabbing you in the back? Which one are you going to do? That's what you're right. That's right. If you picked the ninja or the reaper that's hitting you in the back, give yourself a round of applause because you are going to step up there into the ladder. That is also number 6. Number 6 is I got a work on macros, pretty much. Macros for targeting. Macros for targeting is so good in this mode. Trust me. Like I said before, when you jump in there, do a gap closer, and your allies are there, and you stun people, but you focus on the nearest enemy that's right there, and you put a marker on there, your allies will focus on that one target. Mind you, obviously, your enemy will do a guard, and then that guard will take probably 10 seconds or whatnot, and that's 90% damage that just falls off. Move on to the next one. Just move on to the next one. Forget it. Not everybody's gonna guard, and if they do, that's just on them, because all of them lose their guards, and now they're just after they're done with their guards, they got nothing. That's pretty much, because people that use their guards too prematurely are gonna end up dying, and that's what you want to do. You want them to use their guard and just end up with barely anything left. You jumping in there, doing a whole bunch of damage, causing a whole bunch of chaos with your sustainability. You are literally making sure that you push your enemies to use all the stuff that they need: recuperate, elixirs, guard, that sort of thing. Using a macro just helps that out. Just helps it out for your allies, and your enemies will hate you for it. Trust me, when you notice that the 3 people that you just stunned have just all sporadically used their guard, that's just 3 dudes walking around with a bubble. So just focus on one. He's gonna get out of the bubble soon. Target him down. Don't worry about the other 2. Focus on that one. Do not let that person go. That is very important. That actually no, that's not gonna be number 7, but I actually have different number 7. Oh, another Rogadin. What's up, dude? But anyway, number 7 is going to be look inward when it comes to these fights. I'm up in platinum right now, almost in diamond, but I'm kind of stuck in an area where I'm just like, okay, I know a lot about this game and I can give some tips, but I'm still stuck right here in the platinum area. I want to get up there to crystal, but it's gonna take a minute. Doing solo queue with tank is really hard, but you do need to look inward and figure out, instead of blaming DPS and healers for all your problems, you do need to look inward and figure out, okay, what can I do to maximize my damage and that sort of thing. So what can I do to make sure that all my allies are pretty much all healthy, and they're gonna come with me no matter what is. And it's hard because you're soloing, you're solo queuing, but if they see that sort of momentum that you're pulling off, they're most likely gonna follow your lead. And it does often happen where you actually have that sort of like leadership as a tank, where you are pushing forward and you're staying with your allies and you're helping them out. They will recognize that, and it'll come out with many commendations at the end, whether or not you get defeated or you win. Trust me, I have seen it where I have held a payload for literally 20 seconds alone, waiting on my whole team to just get back up from the dead. It was brutal, and I'll probably end up doing it again today. But those kind of moments where it's just like you're struggling to get from point A, which is platinum, to point B, which is crystal or diamond, that sort of thing. It's pretty tough. It's you just need to find that one thing that's gonna work out for you. And actually, that's why you're probably here, trying to figure out how to maximize your effort as a tank, because you're probably looking at this like, I really don't want to do DPS or healer, I only do tanks. How do I make sure that I can actually dominate in the field of PvP Crystaline, since it's, you know, something that I play like every day? And I'm glad you're here for that, because I actually am going to do another video for DPS. When I'm done with that, I'll bring that video out. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming. I'll probably do a healer one too. Thanks so much for coming. I have to go back into this Crystaline conflict and figure out what I need to do in order to win. Good luck out there. I hope you get out of bronze. I hope you get out of platinum, wherever you are at. Good luck on your games, and I'll see you out there. Peace.